well, you do that because now you're in a position when it comes time for you to speak that you can now sound intelligent in your answer to that person. But if you're just a bigoted religious moron, like we have in America, all over this place, are religious people who love the Lord and will kill you, and bear false witness. They will lie on you. One goofball will come up with a story in his mind, and he passes it around to somebody else, and then that person passes it, and before you know it, it's all over town. Now it's got to be true, so now it goes to other towns. And given enough time with the Internet, and today you are an Al-Qaeda agent, or you are a disinformation agent working for the government, or you're an NSA or CIA plant, or you are mentally disturbed and saw a flying saucer. I mean, you're all kinds of things. And so famous people and people who are in the public eye know that this is all part of living in a arrested development society where people do not care about what is true. They don't mind, especially Christians in America have no problem whatsoever in bearing false witness against their neighbor, about talking about their fellow man, ruining people's names in public, making false charges against people. I mean, America's rampant with that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
this seems to be a quality.
Let me say, if you wanted to contact Steven Spielberg, good luck. There's no possible way. If you want to call George Lucas and talk to him for an hour, don't even bother, because you're not even going to get near him. If you want to talk to anybody in Hollywood, big movie stars, you're not going to get near them. Myself, I make myself available to the whole world. I put my name, my address, my phone number, my blood type. I put it all on the website for anybody to call me at any time of the day or night to talk with me, because I'm always open to talk to anybody, because I'm interested in people and knowledge and wisdom and understanding. So I'm always open to talk to anyone. I want to talk to everyone, and I try and answer, all my emails and my phone number, my phones all the time. How many people in the public eye do that? I put my name, my address, my phone number on the website, so that anybody wants to come to see me, knows where I live, they know what my address is. Steven Spielberg doesn't do that. George Lucas doesn't do that. Other people in the public eye don't do that, but I do. And because of that, I always try and be upfront with everybody, tell them the truth about what I feel about this or that, what my thoughts are about this. And if it happens that I'm talking to a Christian, immediately I must be a Satanist, a devil worshiper. Now it's out there on the web, he's a devil worshiper. I'm just totally disgusted with the human race, because I know we as a human creatures on the earth are doomed, because we can't find our way out of a paper bag. And anyone who's on the cutting edge, intellectually or spiritually, trying to do anything to save the human race is going to be run out of town.
Yes, and
they're going to be tarred and feathered and made to look like a freak. And as far as I'm concerned, that's what's happened to me.
That's a good point as well, because as eloquently described in the Matrix movies about these people are trying to rescue people out of the situation that they're in, the system of enslavement. They portray that also, that be careful in that sense, because these people are actually going to try to fight to protect the system that they're enslaved with.
That's
or
exactly
by.
Right.
And maybe, Jordan, as well, maybe we're not talking about humans anymore in that sense. Maybe this initial few steps that we talked about earlier about the dehumanization, the fact that humanity is being turned into something else. I think that I know that this is, in the works, this is being planned on the level of creating cyborgs, implanting humans with microchips, computer brain interface, things like that as well. But we might already look at a kind of a moral, perversion, if you will, that has taken place in that sense as well. So on the psychological level, we might not even be talking about human beings and the human family anymore either, if you know what I mean.
Well, of course, I totally agree with that. I've questioned that for a long time. I'm a big believer in the very, very real possibility that there are people here who are in fact not human. They merely look like humans. And if you think that's pretty off the wall, you better go back and read the book of Genesis in the Bible when it talks about the sons of God. And there's been a whole work done by Lana Cantrell. In her book many years ago, Lana Cantrell came out with a book called The Greatest Story Never Told. Lana Cantrell. Mm. And her book was, I don't know, a thick 800, 600, 700-page book upon which much of that story that she was telling in her book many, many years ago was also being brought out to in the modern day by Zecharia Sitchin. Lana Cantrell talked about the Anunnaki who came here, how they designed the human beings and how we were designed by them, and who these gods were and that these Sumerians talked about. Lana Cantrell talked about that a long time ago.
Interesting.
And of course, I was in business. I was a business partner with Zecharia Sitchin. I was in business with him. I helped send him to 7 different countries. I helped get some of his books published, not all of them, but at one time he and I were business partners. So I had an opportunity to actually sit with Zecharia behind the scenes that nobody knew anything about, and I could sit and talk with him. I got him speaking engagements from Portland and New York and Los Angeles. I actually financed a science conference in which he spoke there. And so I was in business with Zecharia Sitchin. I have been behind the scenes. I've been the supporter of many different people from various backgrounds. And David Icke is one too, and
sure.
All kinds of people that I have tried to help and promote when I believe that they're decent and intelligent people who have something of value and interesting. Doesn't mean I was married to Zecharia Sitchin.
That's right.
Doesn't mean I was married to David Icke. It means I just appreciated their intelligence and their work. I thought it had value, and I wanted to do something to help promote them and their work. And I've got long lists of people. I can give you many, many names of people that I have worked with, promoted them, helped them to get on radio and television behind the scenes, and was in business with people, astronauts, all kinds of people behind the scenes, because I respected their person, I respect their work. I love wisdom, I love knowledge, I love understanding, and so I wanted to promote people who I believe, have something really important to say. And I think it's fascinating and interesting. I don't know if it's necessarily true in every single case.
Sure.
But I think it's intellectually stimulating, because it's not on toilet paper. These are very bright people writing with some brilliant research, and so I just want to help to promote that kind of intellectual achievement.
That's right. Yeah. Well, it's a good suggestion in that way, because I mean, this is about opening up these fields as well, and I mean, obviously, all as the case with all work, it should be reexamined, it should be looked upon again, it should be criticized. That's on an academic level, and that's okay, you know.
Well, of course.
But then at the same time, it doesn't mean that one has to agree with everything on it. I mean, I've said that about Sitchin's work,
not.
You know, that this is so important because it opens up an area of thought for people, and they can re-examine and question it over again. Wait a minute, can he actually be onto something here? And then I also, on top of that, respect people like Michael Heiser, who has looked twice at Sitchin's work, and he come to another conclusion, and that's fine. That's academic, you know what I mean?
That's my feeling, is that I'm always interested in the academic, intellectual approach to everything. But I am a highly spiritual person. I have no religion, but I'm highly spiritual in that I appreciate and believe beyond any question that there is a higher spiritual mind in the universe that men have called God. But I'm also well aware that you should define your terms. Just because someone said they believe in God, well, first of all, God is dog spelled backwards. So what are you talking about when you say God? I'll tell you what I believe when I'm using the word God. I believe that that there is a profoundly deep and powerful mind in the universe that watches all things, and there's no injustice anywhere. There is no injustice in the universe. It is what it is. It is a very powerful presence, a spiritual, intellectual presence in the universe. And there's a reason for all things. Everything has a reason for being. And there seems to be some kind of a rhyme and a reason of synchronicity of why people meet certain people at a particular point, why certain things happen to individuals, good, bad, or indifferent. It doesn't matter. There's always a reason for everything. And I believe that there is a highly intelligent, spiritually powerful, intellectual power in the universe that watches over all living things. And so it's like the Bible said, God is a spirit. Well, I understand that. It doesn't mean that it's someone you can shake hands with and have dinner with, but it means that there is an intelligence behind every plant, the design of a flower, the design of an insect, and there's a highly incredible intelligence, mathematical, to the whole universe, to the electronic universe that holds planets and holds the moon up. Very few people I talk with have even wondered what holds the moon in place. It just sits there. Well, the whole universe, we now know, is electrical. So it's an electricity. It's some sort of an electrical charge that holds the earth and holds the moon where it is, causes the sun to be what it is. So all I'm saying is that if you're looking at the world from a mundane, ignorant, ill-informed, unread point of view, my God, let me give you a classic example. I was in San Diego working at a company down there, and one night I came out doing the Hale-Bopp Comet or the Halley's Comet, one of the two. I think it was Hale-Bopp Comet. And I came out of my condo, and there was a bunch of high school kids in the parking lot. And they were all very nice kids. They were just regular teenagers. And they were all looking at the comet. And so and they were standing by my car. And so I stood there with them and talked with them, and we were looking at the comet together. And one of the kids said to me, one boy said to me, "What is that?" And I said, "Well, it's a comet." And he said, "Well, what is a comet?" And I said, "Are you serious?" He said, "Yeah, well, what is that?" Mm. So I just explained to them. I didn't pontificate like a pope, but I just explained to them, what a comet is and why it looks the way it does, etc. And then another young man, I can't impress upon you how nice these kids were. They were just regular, nice teenagers.
Sure.
And one of the boys said, if you know this kind of stuff, we all have a question we'd like to ask you. And I said, sure. And he said, where does the sun go when it goes down? Where does it go? And I was shocked.
Yeah.
I said, what are you talking about? You don't know where... What do you mean the sun? Where does it go? He said, where does it go? I mean, we see it come up, we see it go down, but where does it go when it goes down?
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my God, I cannot believe that these kids are in school and they don't even know where the sun goes.
We're back into the era of superstition almost in one way again.
Oh my